There we go.
What's up, boss?
What's up, guys?
How's it
How are we
going?
doing?
Great. How about yourself?
Good, good. I mean, I had a feeling it was just going to be you, but honestly, after I saw your page, I was like, this will be really fun.
Oh, awesome.
This will be dope.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
I'm happy to join.
yeah, and honestly, it kind of worked out well because Ryan is a videographer out in Milwaukee and does video work all over the place. So I was like, oh shoot, Ryan, this you'll definitely have to hop in on this.
Yeah,
No way.
100%. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Stoked to be here.
yeah. How long have you been doing video out in LA?
Oh, well, a while. I mean, here in LA, probably like 10 years. I mean, I moved here 10 years ago, so it's been
Oh
since
snap,
then. Then I started my company 7 years ago.
gotcha. All right. The website looks sick, man. The
Thanks, appreciate it.
I open it up, I'm like, all right, real deal. Because you never know what you're gonna get. You don't know what somebody's offer is gonna be or whatever. And I go to your page, I'm like, that's honestly a gold mine. I don't know if you ever ran ads for yourself, but like the best people to run ads with, and Ryan's a good testament to this, is like somebody who just makes content all the time because creative's such an important part of ads campaigns that having enough of it to test is super important. But somebody that's already making content all the time, it's easy to fit that in. It's not really
Right.
that much burden and also can have a huge ROI. But no, honestly, I was really banking on you showing up because I already pretty much put everything together for you in a thing because I was too excited about it. I got carried away. But I
Amazing.
guess I kind of wanted to hear some insight on what you got going on. I kind of just assumed what your offer was going to be. I didn't really, I just went through your page and I really liked the whole in one day creating 3 months of content. I was like, shit, that's perfect. And it looked like you'd been promoting that for some time, so I figured you'd be cool with that. But if you have a different offer, we can kind of change some things up. But yeah, I guess kind of give me some insight on like what specifically you do. If you're just kind of like more of a general video, and like commercial ads, stuff like that, or what the deal is there.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, actually, I am running some ads that are sort of like similar to some of the posts you've seen on the page.
Cool.
Later I can like walk you through them. But yeah, that's kind of like the offer. So what I do, the offer like itself is shooting content like you saw like 3 months in one day. And then for some clients also running paid ads through Instagram. Mostly like Instagram DM ads to
Okay.
start a conversation with their prospects and either drive them to an appointment or consultation. So I'm running those ads for myself too. It's sort of like an out funnel, some people call it. And it is sort of working, but my lead quality is not great. So yeah, I was looking into, what can I improve? How can I increase the quality a little bit? Um, so yeah, that's about it. And then I can dive into details if you'd like.
Gotcha. And are you doing all the manual, like somebody messages you, start, and then you have to be in there typing, replying to them, all that stuff?
Yeah, so I used to do it manually. Now I have a ManyChat automated flow that I'm actually started doing it like this week. Um, so yeah, I haven't fully used it for a long time. Yeah, of course, I mean when it's automated, I feel that turns some people off, but honestly, it's good for me because I feel I was spending way too much time into the DMs. So I want to try
Yeah.
it for a little bit and see how it goes.
It's a bit of a balancing act. Like you can add automation into it, but it just kind of gets obvious nowadays.
Yeah.
At a place I used to do some work for, when we would the first text would always be automated, and if they replied, that was kind of when we moved into like a manual nurture. Just added a It allowed us to kind of scale a little easier when we were getting 60 people in a day, and I only have so many people I can reach out to at one time. But now that was before AI and all kinds of stuff, so there's all kinds of different things that can happen. Well, that's interesting to know because I guess kind of how I had planned on setting this up was pretty much just a lead gen campaign for a like Facebook form. Now, obviously, that can be a opt-in on your page, or that can be an opt-in on the Facebook form. I set it up for Facebook form because I don't know what your what backend you use for your CRM, if you have a landing page builder, all that stuff. Do you have any CRM you use?
Yeah, I have been using off and on Go High Level. Right now, I do have it,
Perfect.
although I'm not using it a lot. Because like
Gotcha.
I said, it's mostly through ManyChat and the DMs. But
Okay.
yeah, I do have it, and so yeah, I'm familiar
Cool.
with it.
Yeah. I mean, I use Go High Level. Ryan uses Go High Level, so this kind of plugs in. It can plug in directly into that. And there's kind of some cool things I think that maybe you might be interested in using in the future too, with like
Yeah,
I don't know, AI text bots. I know they could probably get a bad rap. I have one that is it's a company I use called the Pointwise AI. If you get a chance, you can look at them. It's I think $97, and they're pretty damn good as far as like how I mean, like I built mine in like I think 2 hours, and I just had to give it qualifying questions, and it will book them directly on my GHL calendar without even sending them a link. It'll ask them the times. They can change it up. It's really cool.
that's
So
cool.
if you
Yeah,
ever go down the line on looking for something like that, it's kind of cool because then you
yeah,
can pretty much ask the qualifying questions in the text while also keeping the lead cost down, and just find that in between where you don't have to do any of the texting. All you're doing is getting appointments. So
gotcha.
something cool. I've been messing around with it a little bit. Now, have I ran paid ads to it yet? No. So that's why I'm kind of like, I don't know if I would tell you to do that yet because I haven't done it yet.
Gotcha.
But yeah, just here, I'll share my screen. This will make this a little easier. And just because I didn't have access to any of your stuff, I figured this was the smoothest way for me to build this out without like just being super ugly looking. But pretty much overview. It's just going to be ads to Facebook form. Now, if you wanted to do a or GHL, landing page with VSL and form, that's always an option. I'm not sure how. I'm sure you've recorded a VSL before because I saw some of your YouTube stuff and it all looks really cool. It gave me some other ideas for some potential lead gen stuff you could be doing. Um, but if I kind of plan on just going through this in my thought process. I was going to share this document at the end, and if you feel comfortable implementing on Facebook, go ahead, go for it. Honestly, that was just how it was going to be. And then I kind of wanted to just chat around. I know Ryan might have some questions or want to chat about, you guys doing your video stuff. I do some
Yeah.
video, to be honest. I do like compared to what other people do. I wouldn't even tell people I do video. I just keep it on the down low because it's not as great as other people's. But yeah,
Yeah,
just
I'm
kind
interested to hear this. I'm interested to just see
of
this because it's like
this.
for a little bit of backstory on like what I do. I'm kind of bouncing around a bunch of different niches right now. I do stuff in the sports world, I do stuff for personal branding. Like I just started doing this full time like a year ago now, so I would still consider myself like in the early stages of it. But I think this will be super interesting, like going forward, once I am able to narrow down, like, okay, this is my exact offer, this is exactly what I want to do, exactly what I want to serve. Like this is exactly what I want to implement and start writing some sort of ad. So I'm stoked to see the in depth, especially being in my niche. I was like, I got to pull up to this. So
Yeah. Ryan's ran ads
Nice.
one time. He spent $7 and made $250, and he never ran ads again. It was just on
yeah,
a
turned them off for good.
yeah. He ran one lead campaign. It was the funniest thing ever. But no, we just set. I set him
Nice.
up last night on some school ads. We're trying to grow his school community, so we'll see how this goes. But yeah, honestly, super simple stuff. Um, I imagine you have some familiarity with ads manager. So this you can
Mhm.
probably see where this fits in. As far as the campaign objective, lead campaign, and for people that might be watching this down the line, this might be a little confusing, but once they open Ads Manager, they'll get it. As far as just naming conventions, just kind of the go-to, what your offer is when you launched it. Um, and then campaign budget optimization, we'll leave it on for now. I've built this just to have one ad set, so it's not necessarily going to make a difference. But are you familiar with campaign budget optimization?
Yeah, I don't think I've used it before. Is it
Yeah,
the one where you can do the budget at the campaign level versus the ad set level?
exactly that. And I imagine, if you were to build this campaign out, and then run it against your other one, or even if this is similar enough where you could run it like just use the ad set version and put this inside of yours. Because I'm kind of curious what that setup looks like. And if you're open to sharing that later on, if you want to share your screen, we can just look through and see what we got. Um,
Sure.
but yeah, if you were to run multiple ad sets and want to test more of like with the actual creatives, how the creative is doing, that's when you'd move it down to the ad set level. That way it's not just being determined by the audience, it's more of the creative in the audience. Um, but yeah, as far as the budget, not sure what your budget is. Some people start low. I just always say like start with something. Like right now, I think Ryan and I are running ads at 20 bucks a day to our school community. And once that, proves to be promising and beneficial, to be fair, I'm one person. I'm kind of full on client load, so I can't really take on clients. Not really actively looking for a whole lot of people right now, but I am like open to building a community where I can do something like this, and hopefully generate some type of content out of that. But kind of the reason we're doing that, as far as running continuous or not, really just depends on what the offer is. If you're running like a monthly special, whatever, simple stuff. Location, LA is probably going to be a little different than most. Like when I run ads, I'm in Fort Wayne, Indiana. LA is way different than Fort Wayne, Indiana, as far as population goes. So I typically am at the 50-mile range because I want enough people in it. I'm curious on what you run campaigns on in your area, but I mean, any insight on that? Do
Yeah.
you?
So again, I've been targeting kind of like the whole LA area, and like even
Mhm.
the call out was like Los Angeles business owners. Um, I feel like again, it's been kind of like a hit or miss. Like I got some good quality lead every now and then, but a lot of it were low quality. And I've run this campaign for like I want to say like 6 months, almost, maybe 5 months. But yeah, what I did find is that some people for big cities like LA recommend to just pick like one neighborhood, like focus on that instead of like the whole area. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Cool.
But yeah, I haven't tested it for like one. No, it's not even been 1 week since I made this change. So yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, and if that proves to make more sense, what you can do is move that to the campaign budget optimization if you want, and then just have different area codes running as ad sets, and then you kind of get a breakdown which one's running differently opposed to the others. Or maybe you're already doing that. For age, I usually leave age open, meaning like as wide as possible. Um, and then as far as detail targeting, this is something that comes down the line as well. Like if I wanted to test individual detail targeting with different ad sets, that's always an option when you kind of narrow down. So say you find your, radius that works for you, or if you want to just start, you know, 50 miles wide around LA and then go into your interest targeting based on whatever interest might suit your ideal clients. And then test those. As long as the creative and the copy is the same, that's kind of something I always make sure. Like, if we're changing everything at every level, we're not really testing anything. Obviously, I'm sure you know that, but you'd be shocked at what some people will do. They just change the whole thing up, and it's like this one thing won, and nothing was the same as last time, so it didn't really make sense. Placements, obviously, I guess maybe this isn't obvious to most people, but Facebook and Instagram are the only two placements I use. I pretty much turn off everything besides read, feed, stories, and reels. Um, I'm not sure if you've ever looked or if you have these running or if you have it set up like that, but pretty much
That's
no.
pretty much like that. Yeah, feed
Yeah,
stories,
pretty
real.
much
I
no
just do
conversion.
only Instagram, not Facebook at the moment. But yeah,
Cool. Yeah, yeah, and that makes sense too. I have some clients that they just it doesn't make sense for them to run on Facebook. And getting into the ad level, basic stuff here. You'll get all of this when I send it over. Um, Facebook form, pretty much simple setup as well. Then whatever qualifying questions. Obviously, the more questions you add, likely the higher cost per submission it's going to be. In turn, potentially more qualifying. Going back to what you were saying, you didn't feel like leads were that qualified. And if you think about what it takes for them to become a lead, it's just clicking below and sending the message. They're not really giving you anything. Now, obviously, you have access to their profile, but they're not submitting for anything. They're not really applying, giving their phone number, their budget, whatever it is, just qualifying questions from there. And then that can kind of allow you to score leads in whatever CRM or whatever Google Sheet you're in, where it's like, okay, I'm only going to reach out to people whose budget makes sense for what I'm doing. and who has a project that's ready to start in the next however many weeks. Stuff like that. Kind of allow you to just weed out the people that you probably aren't going to work with, and then attack those. As far as everything else, though, privacy link. You can add your booking page after the form as a CRM or as your CTA. Just some miscellaneous stuff because I wasn't sure really what you had set up, but ideally, you don't just use the Facebook ads for lead manager because that would just be ugly. I couldn't imagine doing that. It's in there, but I usually just if somebody doesn't have CRM or go high level, zaps to a Google Sheet, and then you can just send yourself an instant notification. As far as ads, just some ad scripts I threw together for you. You obviously have no issue recording content, so that makes it super easy. And maybe you even have some other script ideas, but just based off of the 3 months of stuff, these are kind of in here. And I kind of like to approach it with the call out, the problem, what it is you're offering, and how they can kind of get started. It's not uncommon. It's not like I invented that or anything, but that's just kind of my go-to scripts from there. And then just different sizes on scripts for different retention. Yeah, so you can pretty much look through those things I saw from your page. I really like this. Opposed to being the DM, the word story to learn more, it would just be like replace that with click the learn more button to apply. And they'd click that and fill out the form. Good thing about that is too that still it remains the same CTA if you decide to make a landing page and have them fill out a form elsewhere, so you don't really have to switch up creative. I also really like this first one. This like grabbed my eye like no other off your page. I don't know if it just like that's kind of like the look, I guess, for some carousel posts. And so I thought this was really cool. And scrolling through this. And now maybe this specific post might need some changes as far as like a CTA at the end or whatever we want to do. But creating a carousel ad would be an option for you. With this as exact post might even be worth it. You have a lot of organic content. I think that would just be like super easy. Like you could have an ad campaign turned on and running tonight with the amount of organic content. I think that applies to this campaign. It would just be like switching up some of the CTAs. That way it wasn't super confusing. And I'm trying to remember what this video was. I thought, oh, it was day 8 of your stuff. And I kind of liked it. I like the idea that it was like it just seems organic and running that as an ad, but that also kind of like goes to the offer that we were talking about with the, one day of content for 3 months of content or one day of shooting for 3 months of content. Yeah. So that was pretty much the actual it made it super easy to come up with ad ideas with you already having a bunch of content. I'm not sure how often you run your actual content as ads, but really that was pretty much it. Now, if as far as like actually setting up an ads manager, there's obviously some things that you're probably gonna, if I can find my screen, hold on 1 second, that you might need some help with. Obviously, reach out to me and I can screen record or whatever I need to for you. But that was pretty much it. I know I kind of flew through that. Did that all make sense, or did that seem
No, yeah.
helpful?
Perfect
I
speed.
don't
No,
know. Uh,
very
yeah,
helpful. Yeah. No, it all
cool.
made sense.
Cool. Sometimes I think some people get into this and maybe it seems a little like simpler than what they were expecting, but honestly the name of the game with ads is get in the game and then just stay in it as long as possible with testing creative.
Right.
Just continue to test. But also track. And tracking can be difficult sometimes, especially when, you know, you got multiple offers or maybe it's just you or you don't have a CRM. So um, just kind of something to keep track of. As far as I'm kind of curious to hear more about your offer though, if you're open to talking about it. I'm curious, like, what do you charge for the one day of content and 3 months? What does that price point look like?
Yeah. So the usual price point, it's like a 3-month package, right? So for the 3 months of content is like 6,000 paid in full, or there's also like a split option that I give. It's a bit more than 6,000. And for also running the ads, 7,500. Now I have sold, I think at least one 6,000 package with this campaign. But what I'm finding is that a lot of people, of course, it's like cold traffic, so it's the first times that we interact. But yeah, a lot of people seems to be more comfortable with like 1 to 2,000 as like and they ask for like a trial or like a test. So yeah, I've been thinking maybe to come up with like something that's around that price range that I can say, okay, let's do a pilot type of situation. But it's also tough for me because obviously, as you also imagine, it's the same for you. Like, 1 month or like less than 3 months is kind of hard to get results for people. So
Mhm.
I'm a little bit on the fence about it, but yeah, that's kind of what I've been finding.
Yeah, you almost have to like convince them that this $1,000 for this one-time thing is like winning is getting awesome content. It's not having the content get us results in this 1 month. You almost have to have them accept that. I'm sure Ryan has some thoughts on this as well, but
Yeah,
he's
I
like,
wonder if like within the messaging of the ads, more so focusing on the long-term results that you've gotten people. I think that could probably help and almost like pre-handle objections in the sense that like, nobody that I work with for 2 months is gonna like see anything. Like in the content space, people are always like, I want it fast, I want it fast, I want it fast. I'm like, dude, like you're gonna have to like stick this one out like for a while, buddy, before this like works. So maybe like in my case too, like talking about that more in my content when I break down, the things that I do for people, and then like in your ad campaigns, talking more so about, this is somebody I worked with for 6 months, and these are the results. And kind of almost putting it out there that hey, like this isn't something that happens overnight. This is something that's more of a long term game. I think could be helpful in just the messaging.
Right. No, 100%.
it is kind of just like setting that standard from the beginning. I mean, that was something like when we were running ads for BRX, which is a performance gym. They saw a lot of drop off in the season for high school athletes, and so like we tried to make that our messaging year round and everything. It was like, hey, the reason everybody's getting these results is because they train all year round instead of just drop off when the season comes. Um, but I mean, same thing with like I run ads for clients, and they want to see results right away. And I'm like, dude, you got a $10 budget day. You're not seeing that, and you're selling fences. It's not happening. It's going to be a
I have a
while.
question. Um, when it comes to like the what you just ran through right there and the creative side of it, how long do you let that stuff run before you decide like, okay, we're not seeing results from this, like let's switch up the creative completely. Like how long would you let something run without seeing results out of it?
Yeah, I guess it kind of depends. Like, is it getting clicked on? Is it even getting shown? Because like, if we were to pull up Ads Manager and I have my school ads running, which screw it, we'll just put each other right now. You'll see if my daily budget's $20 a day, you'll see out of the 4 or 5 ads I have running, one's just not getting any ad spend. It's not happening. And that's Facebook's way of pretty much being like, this one's crap.
Hmm.
Pretty much. So we'll go to, yeah, I guess this week. And I told you this. I said I put this one in here. I don't know if you remember me talking about this. This is just that
Yep.
beat. And I was like, this will be the best ad for sure. It's the like easiest to understand and by far easiest ad. Um, that's where that's not showing, but um, yeah, it's the only one performing. So what I can come over here and see is this has been in this ad right here has been in just as long as this ad. All the
Hmm.
ad spend has gone to this ad. Usually a good idea that that is just not going to work at this point in time with this. Now, something you can do with that though is a different audience could see it and maybe it works with them. That being said, I felt pretty bad about this one. I was just talk about just like being out of ideas. I just like took a picture and threw some words on it. I was like, whatever, that's an ad. That works.
Yeah.
The purple looks pretty ugly, but whatever. Um, But maybe if another thing too that I'd be super interested in trying is just remove the words. Don't have anything on there. The people
Mm,
that pick up on the context clues of what this is might even be like it's obviously harder for someone to understand what's going on here. There's
yeah.
it's not as obvious. So somebody that does click in to join a school community is likely going to be someone that is more qualified. That being said, it's a free community, so like whatever. Um, Here we are. We got me and you.
Fire.
Not doing as well as the other one. Same exact tweet, same exact messaging, just different image. Um, so that's something I probably don't try enough is actually just no text on stuff at all and just kind of like context clues. Um, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was just
As
curious
far as
on
like
that.
yeah, as far as like the
Yeah.
budget, I like to like kind of really address things at like $100 every $100. And that's why I pick that number. It's just kind of the number I pick. Now, if I'm spending $100 a day, that's not going to be what I look at. Then I'm probably going more to like 3 or 4 days. But honestly, you get a better feel with it as the campaign goes, and you make more changes. You kind of see how long it takes for things to actually settle and like you get a better feel when things are just dead.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Um, but yeah, like it's obvious I should probably make some more of these videos because all the ad spend over the past, you know, 3 days, 4 days has been directed there. Um,
In a case like mine, where I'm still like at the point where I'm working with a lot of different people and different niches per se. Um, when it comes to like the ad side stuff, would you see it as almost more like how would you see this like playing into what I do right now? Would it almost just be like running ads to my Instagram where and like to my organic content for the most part and
yeah,
pushing people that way, or how would you go about that?
I mean, it's kind of the exact same problem I'm running into where I don't serve like a specific niche. And if you're not serving a specific niche, I think serve a specific result. So like what result I do the
Mm,
same result for everybody, but I don't serve the same niche.
yeah,
And that's where I kind of get hung up on like, do I need a niche? I've seen people do it
yeah.
without it.
Yeah, so I guess in my case, like the messaging would be like the content systems that I can build out for people, not necessarily like
Yeah.
specific business owner in this specific niche. Like if you want XYZ, it's more so just running ads with to the results in a sense, not a specific person.
Yeah, like what does it matter if they're a software engineer or a software owner or a concrete construction company? Like
Yeah,
they want the same thing in a way. Now that's where like the messaging gets a little different because if you're serving to everybody's wants, they're all gonna call it something else. We've all been there where it's like a dude hit me up, the guy that I just signed up, and he was like, "Hey, do you do Google SEM, search engine marketing?" I'm like, "That's like really vague. That's just like somebody saying, do you do social media marketing?" And it's like that
yeah,
could but I'm like, I do Google search ads, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, that's what I meant." I'm like, "All right." So if I were to put Google search ads, he probably wouldn't have known what that was. And that's my service. That's what I'm trying to say. So just kind of finding that common ground in the messaging. I think it's like, I mean, shit, that's just marketing in general, like conveying your message to your audience. But
makes sense.
yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't even
Fire.
ask. How do you pronounce your name? Is it Gianluca? I just
Yep.
realized I didn't even ask.
Hey,
Yeah, yeah. No,
That's
you
it?
said it right. That's it.
Oh,
Gianluca.
dude, very cool. All right, well, I don't know if all that made sense or if you have any other questions, but honestly, like I'd be super interested to see what ads you're running right now. If you're cool sharing it.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. I can share my
if I have
screen.
to blur anything out, these videos are supposed to go up on the school community after this, but
Yeah, no problem.
cool.
Like, feel
Yeah,
free to blur them out, maybe any sensitive information, but I'm
yeah,
more than happy to share what I'm running.
cool.
Um, oh wait, why is this inactive? Weird. Let me just refresh real quick. Oh no, okay, it's working. So I'm running two that are sort of the same, and it's that like text overlay thing. Let me see if I can. So it's sort of a variation of the same one that
Cool.
you've seen before.
Yeah.
Um, it's going decently. I'm wondering if it's maybe too much text, but I think my cost per lead is around $10. So people are responding to it. And now what
Do
I have changed recently, like this past week, is that instead of having Los Angeles, I'm focusing on like specific
cool.
areas or neighborhoods. But yeah, other than that, I'm keeping it pretty broad.
Cool. Do me a favor. Click out of this. So like the X button in the top right, and then take me to the ad set level.
Yep.
So now you're running three ad sets right now. And does each only have one ad underneath it?
Yeah.
Is that how you usually run it?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think that's just how I've been taught to do it. But
Gotcha. No,
yeah,
I'm just curious because typically what I like, I probably have like anywhere between like two and five running under one ad set at a time, just to kind of give it some variety. Ideally, all of them look different. So that's something I'd be curious to see. And like, if you were to just add a second ad into these, it's either going to do better or worse, but like it's a 50-50 chance you improve your ads with one small video. And it obviously like it can be the same video for all of them, just change the Orange County to insert another county.
right.
So not
Yeah,
that
because
much.
the other one is I'm doing a separate ad set for this one, and it's exactly the same, just like a different neighborhood.
Cool.
But the problem is that, yeah, I probably need to have a different ad set because I'm changing like the targeting that the geolocation.
Gotcha. Hmm. Okay. Um, which ones?
And this one is a video, like me talking to camera.
Gotcha. And that's the lowest cost per message right there. Well, I guess it hasn't ran that long.
Yeah, but it's weird because it says last 30 days. How come I'm only like one lead?
It looks like only $5, maybe not even $5 have been spent on it. Well, then you said this is
Oh
at
yeah, I did launch it yesterday. Yeah, yeah.
okay,
Because
cool.
I changed some things of the video. I just launched
I
it.
mean,
Yeah.
that might be obviously that one's. Could you click on the video? I'm kind of curious to see how that one looks.
Yeah.
These look really nice, by the way. Do you edit these all by yourself too?
No, for this one, actually, an editor of mine did it.
Gotcha. It looks really good.
Yeah, yeah, because you can't hear the audio, but I think you get the messaging. But if you want me
No,
to open it like with the audio, I'll open the file.
no, that's fine. I mean, the text on the screen makes it very easy to kind of take in, but also it's just really professional looking, which when you're promoting video work, it's kind of like your shit better be on. That's
Yeah.
why like, doing the rough B-roll, I'm like kind of back and forth. Like for everyone else, it probably is fine. For doing video work, it's like, damn, I don't know if I really want this to be my B-roll. Like your B-roll probably looks like someone's, good shit. Just because that's the way I feel like you might be getting judged by potential people. But no, super cool. No, it's interesting. Obviously, most of these have just kind of been started. Was there any specific questions? I feel like I kind of just ran through everything. Did you have anything you were maybe hoping to learn or take away that I could see if I can answer or cover?
Yeah, no, I think it all made sense. I guess one thing that I was kind of curious, it seems like you recommend like the lead form. I was using that like last year. But yeah, I was curious about your experience with it because even with that, I feel like the quality was a bit hit or miss sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean, I switched to the DM ads, hoping that the quality will be better. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, it still feels that both of them was a hit or miss.
Yeah, no, you're totally it. Like there are for sure are going to be bad like There's going to be people that just don't even pick up a phone. That's just the name of the game with Facebook ads sometimes, as far as like running lead forms. Um, Now, if you want to be avoiding conversations with crappy leads, that's where I think, here, let me share this. Um, I guess forgot I brought this up. So pretty much, this is that AI appointment setter. And this is kind of like where this comes in. It's just having,
So you're not using the GHL native appointment setter or conversation
no,
AI is another one?
no. This is different. It's called the Pointwise, but it has a direct integration with GHL. So this is
Oh,
set up,
interesting.
it's set up directly up to my Go High Level account. Um, Obviously, it only sends the correct message when it's in an actual text, right inside of the actual software. A Pointwise, it doesn't. But pretty much, it's like, hey, first name, just I actually named it Ryan after Ryan Rail. uh,
That's funny.
it's crypto media. Just like applied for a contact launchpad. Just want to confirm that they're the business owner because we only want to be speaking to the business owner. I don't want to be speaking to somebody who's not in charge of making decisions and booking them for an appointment. And so
Gotcha.
pretty much I've that's a qualifying question it has to ask, and then I'm like, no, I am not gonna see that. I think it takes you can change the reply time or whatever, but I'm having like a system error right now. This would be a horrible time for this not to work right now.
It always happens.
Uh, oh wait. Oh shit. I wonder if I didn't update it. It looks like there was that's new. This was not there 2 days ago. All right. Well, anyways, I'll run you through what the script looks like on the back end. How about we do that? This is just one way, but pretty much I came in here, I fed it all of this information. Well, they changed a bunch of stuff. Um, I went through their prompts, went through everything.
We're not seeing your screen, or at least I'm not, just so you know.
Oh, shoot.
'Cause I think I was sharing and then I stopped.
Um, is it showing now? It says I'm sharing right now.
I don't know, I'm not seeing it.
Um, Ryan, do you see this?
I could see it.
Now
Yeah.
I can see it, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So this is like pretty much how I built it, but it takes me through like questions on, whatever it is um, that I want it to say or what I want to qualify people as, how I want to tag people and go high level. It's cool. Here are the
Nice.
qualifying questions, the follow-up questions. So pretty much it will stick to this, and I'll show you. But I wanted to ask these questions. If they answer correctly to these questions, it will move forward with booking them. All cool stuff. But when I come over to here, I can see I have like the creativity. If I want it to not stick to the script and just give it like full reign, and it just knows it has like a border that it can stay within and knows the goal, it'll do its thing. Or if I want it to stay directly to the script, it'll do this. Um, as far as everything else, pretty self-explanatory. Pretty much fed it my website, fed it everything I had, typed it in, spent like I said, this took about 2 hours. This is brand new. So this is going to be really fun to check into. Yeah, this is sick, which I guess this is kind of what I was asking them like 2 weeks ago, but it looks like there's a little more in-depth automation because before all you could do was give it your GHL connection, give it your calendar, and it would pretty much read the calendar and tell the lead, hey, I have some availability tomorrow at 2 or 2, 3, and 5. They'd be like, I'll take 5. Cool. They book it. And then it's pretty much done at that point, unless you want it to continue. You can set it up that way. That's a cool thing you can do. If you want to check it out, it's called the Pointwise.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I like the UI too.
Yeah, no, it looks sick, does it not? I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
If you know who Jordan Platten is, for some reason, maybe you know who that is. In the agency space, he's pretty big, but this is one of his softwares. But
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean it
What
integrates.
exactly is it, or what have you found that's better than the GHL conversation AI feature?
Yeah, so when I used the GHL one, I think I used it for my DMs. Ryan, you remember when I had that set up? I didn't even know I had it set up, and Ryan DM'd me and like started messaging him trying to book him.
Yeah.
It was just, I guess, a little on the harder to train, like not harder to train, but harder to train like human like. Like when I text this,
Hmm.
I've had people text this and they're like, I told them it was my dude over in the Philippines. Nobody doubted that this was a Filipino dude texting. Like nobody had any doubts. I was like, no, I'm just joking. It's just AI. And they're like, no way. They're like, this is insane. Uh, but honestly, I would just try the free trial. All you really need to do is like you upload a snapshot to your GHL account, and it looks like this. You have to change some custom values. It walks you through everything, and
Okay.
then this is like their back end. It's super dope. I mean, I have it set up on. I'll show you what it looks like on my end. Um, so that script was for if I ran traffic here and did whatever, it'd come here, they'd fill out a form, and then receive a text. Um, and then kind of go through whatever they want to do. That being said, some plans have changed since then. I've gotten a little busier, so we decided not to go the podcast launchpad route, but I'm definitely excited to try it with my own stuff. But I actually have a client that's starting up. We'll be running their ads in 2 weeks, and I'm gonna try and run this for them. I'm gonna try to do my own like appointment setting for them, because they have nothing in place. So it's really easy to start with somebody who already has nothing. But I'd be curious to hear what your input is on it if you gave it a try. As far as connecting it to DMs, I don't believe that's an option, but I'm sure
I
there's some.
think if it's, I mean, if it connects with GHL, like GHL can also, um, like the conversations include the Instagram DMs, so I think it
Yeah.
should also cover that.
If I had to
Yeah.
guess, if I had to guess, all you really need to do now that I think about it, because the trigger, it's just depending on the trigger, I guess. So like it can just be received Instagram DM. Also the support staff on this is insane. Like I just have a assigned WhatsApp guy that I text, and he pretty much
Oh, that's cool.
walks me through how to do everything. They also do like a launch call too with the owner, and it's really nice. Um, After I logged out of all of this, but yeah, like if you come in here, this would make sense now. I go to my automations. I have to come into here, set triggers. I bet you if I had like, it should be Instagram.
Yeah. No, if try typing DM.
PM direct.
Oh, no, no, it's customer replied, and then you can filter for Instagram inbox or something. Channel, reply channel, Instagram. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. And then what you can do on the next workflow. So like this is that what enrolls them. This workflow, think of strategies as scripts. You can pretty much have multiple scripts for multiple offers at the same time. So you got different AIs doing different things, um, which is cool. I only have the one, but you can have, I believe, on the basic plan, I think you get three under one account. But yeah, so I could have my Instagram feed if I needed it to be different than anything else, but or if you have two offers running at the same time. Um, And you can kind of test the inside of a point wise. I believe it even had a section where you can look at me. I'm like an a point wise sales rep. It's
This is pretty dope though.
Yeah,
oh
that's
yeah,
nice.
so sick. Well, I'm not joking, Brian. When I first started this, it didn't look like this whatsoever. It like that's why it probably doesn't work with my stuff because I have not updated this thing. I kind of like bought it and then just forgot about it until I could find a client to use it on. Um, because I wasn't using it. But as far as like seeing how well the scripts are working and how well it is to like get a one deal, which is just a booked appointment. I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's so that's one way. Back to your initial point. Qualifying people in Facebook ads, doing that. That way you're only really interact. You're not really interacting with anyone. You're only just getting appointments when they come through. Um, and also it's likely to reply faster if you're doing all the managing, all the texting and stuff like that. I imagine you're missing some messages every once in a while, or you're slow to reply or whatever. Whereas
Yeah,
this, it won't be the case. So where it might lack in some, some spaces, I bet you it makes up in time. But some also like if you want to try doing the GHL one, I would recommend doing that. If it's already in there, it's free, or maybe it isn't free, but maybe there's like a slight bone or add-on. This is 97 bucks a month, so you could do that and then come over here and try them out. But
right.
um,
Yeah, I've tried. I mean, I just did like a quick test with the GHL one. But yeah, I don't know. It just said I gave it like, okay, ask these three questions, but then it kept asking like other questions that were not part of it. So I don't
hmm.
know how what I did wrong, but it was not the result that I was hoping.
Yeah, I know GHL. I mean, GHL is buggy every once in a while. It has its. I mean, I'm the biggest GHL fan. There really isn't a bigger one
That's
out there.
cool. Yeah,
I
pretty
love it.
robust.
They're awesome. But when you have that many features on your software, it's bound to have something that sucks. It's just going to happen.
Yeah,
The calendar feature kind of sucks. It's just slow on the websites. The you know email interface just kind of ugly sometimes. It's difficult to maneuver, but it is what it is. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I don't know if you got anything else.
yeah. No,